Are meatless Mondays a thing in your house? Plant-based diets are more popular than ever, and more families are looking for ways to get in on the health trend. Here to explain the benefits of it, nutrition expert and author, Dr. Wendy Bazilian. Good morning.
Good morning. It's great to be with you, Mary.
It's good to have you. A general question to start here. Why should people eat more plant-based foods? How do you make the case?
Yeah, you're right. So many people are kind of getting into the idea and plant-based eating compared to a traditional American diet typically has more fiber, more unsaturated fats, those heart-healthy fats. And when it's well planned, you know, in your day, it typically has more vitamins and minerals and phytonutrients, those kind of plant nutrients that we're all hearing about. So that's some of the reasons. And research has associated it with lower risk of heart disease, diabetes, certain cancers, a leaner body, so help with weight management. And so there's a lot of reasons to be plant-based, but there's a lot of misconception on what that means as well.
Yeah, what are the basics if you're going to follow a plant-based eating pattern? What are some of the things you should or should not do?
Well, you know, plant-based eating, it means eat more plants, plain and simple. Right. It can't get simpler than that. But basically, it's not about overhauling your diet or eliminating foods, much to the confusion, I think, of a lot of us. You know, there was a survey that was conducted by the California Walnut Commission that showed that while nearly 2/3 of us were familiar with plant-based eating, over half thought it meant vegetarian or vegan. So plant-based eating is really about adding more fruits and veggies, more beans, more nuts, more whole grains, and really focusing on simple ways to do that without saying it means no meat. 40% feel like it means no meat, but that's not actually true. Modest amounts of fish, poultry, and even lean meat can fit into a plant-based eating pattern, and that's what the research shows.
So what do you have in front of you there? If our viewers are going out and they say, I want to give this a real shot, they're going to the grocery store, what are some of the things that you say, put these items on your list?
Right. So, you know, the most obvious is probably the fruits and veggies. You hit that produce section and you look for fresh, whole, affordable, you know, because it's not always, it doesn't always feel as affordable, but search for some of that fresh produce to build your fruit bowl at home, to have the berries in the refrigerator for your breakfast and for your snacks. But don't forget about in the aisles, you know, the foods in packages. If you look for clean ingredient lists that have recognizable and short ingredient lists, you can do very well. So nuts, like walnuts, for example, are an essential part of a plant-based diet because they're a convenient source of plant-based protein. They're uniquely comprised of polyunsaturated fats and the only nut with omega-3s, with an excellent source of omega-3s. You look for dried fruits. How about herbs and spices? You know, you can dip in the aisle and get dried herbs and spices, which many of your viewers may not know are actually technically fruits and veggies, and some of the fresh herbs and spices too. You get your whole grains going, your dried beans or your low sodium canned beans, and there's a variety of choices when you're shopping to just kind of boost up the plate. So even if you're including eggs and poultry and fish and some lean meat, maybe some dairy, that you're assured that your meals throughout the day feature some kind of plant.
We are almost out of time here, but I would like a website maybe with more information about sort of just plant-based diets in general, and then also maybe a few recipe ideas if those exist online.
Absolutely. There's lots of recipes at walnuts.org. One of my favorites is to create like a coating on a salmon that I put to bake. So it's like a breading, which is delicious. I've got some great recipes for lasagna and some crock-pot oatmeal. There's a lot of things that you can do very simply that are plant-based, whether they include some meat or not.
Dr. Bazilian, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Mary. Be well.
You too. Mike?